This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. First of all, welcome. And in just
Thank
a few
you.
sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Patrick McMullan. I am the president of Three Square Market. We're a self-service technology company. We do business here in the US. We do business across the globe, 9 different countries outside of the United States. And it's been an exciting year, to say the least, Earl.
I'm sure it has, indeed. Well, tell me, in all of this excitement, what's the best thing about being the CEO?
Well, I think one of the phrases I've used in my life, and I learned it actually from my kids, is beat the odds. And I think a lot of people put a limit to what they can accomplish in their lives. And that is professionally as well. And as being the leader of a business, I most enjoy showing people how to accomplish more than they ever thought they could. That's very, very warming in your heart to see people achieve goals they never thought that they could. And I think that that's what I enjoy the most.
Very good. Very good. Well, I hear from other CEOs that being the leader of their team and being able to see the road ahead can be difficult or challenging. What are your thoughts?
It can be. And while there's always every day, there's, if you want to call the term the chaos, our job as leaders is to see through it. And I think that one of the things that I always stress is that I want to have a culture that you encourage people to be part of the vision, that the answers lie within the room, and that you encourage people to come up with them, to lead, to not just you, to leading doesn't just rely on you, it relies on everybody. So encourage people to really be that visionary person with you.
Excellent. Excellent. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So, from all of this experience that you've had thus far, what piece of insight do you want to share with other CEOs?
Well, the reality is you have to be the image. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't tell people to do things, but then not do them yourself. So one of the basic, most critical things I look at is simply, if you're going to be a leader that commands and needs efficiency to have a great business, then you have to be someone that's just a time management master yourself. And if you want people not to waste time, then you have to be that. You have to be that example, Earl. Secondly, and I think probably something I've spent most of my life, it's a challenge every single day, especially in this world that we live in, is just your attitude. It is to get up in the morning with a desire to win. And when I look at everything that we do and I do, is that you can win, that you believe that you can do it. And I find that especially in today's world that can be dominated by social media, by mainstream media, it's encouraging people, having that mindset that today I can do things and I can win. Beyond that is just as a leader, as I stress to people, is invest into your people, teach them new skills, teach them knowledge, and show them how to do things. And as you go along, I mean, let's face it, the bigger your business gets, the harder that can be. But then as your role starts to elevate, you still have to go back to that principle I first talked about, as time. Invest the time into your people, and your people will pay you back. They'll do the things that you need them to do. And I find the beauty of our company, Earl, is that we see businesses all over the globe. And the reality is we can see people who do that and people that don't. And the people that do, there's a reason why they're at where they're at. And so that's the thing that I come down to is really be that person that the vision that you have is emulated both by yourself and then through your staff. Command it, teach it, expect it, and then inspect it. So that's what I would tell you, that in a nutshell, when you is to come through with that piece. And that to me is most important.
Very good. Well stated. So from that, What other successful CEOs, like yourself, would you like to acknowledge here and now, and should be on my podcast?
I love this, and I love this question because I both have my past, uh, current, and then someone I'd love to know someday. So my past goes to a gentleman named John Marshall. He's the CEO, president of a company called Home ASAP. John and I crossed paths 20 years ago, well, actually even more than that. And it's just somebody I've emulated. I look at and say, how would I carry myself? What would John do? Secondly, someone that I think is a visionary is now leading a business. It's more of a startup organization, but his name is Brian Snyder. And he might even be surprised that I said this, but he's running a business called Lit Communities, which is related to Smart City. And I think that they have a very, very exciting vision of what they can do. And then someone I would love to meet, just the intrigue of Jack Owak from Bang Energy Drinks. He's not afraid to lead, to put himself out there, and somebody that his insights, I think a lot of people could gain from. And those would be three people I would recommend to have on your program.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. And so now for the final question. How do you celebrate a win?
Oh, it's a great question. And the reality is when you think about business, Earl, and what we do every day, first of all, it's your people, and you've got to celebrate them and what they've accomplished. Because let's face it, as the leader, it could be easy for you to stand in front of the red light, the camera, and take all the credit. But the reality is everybody in all aspects and all areas, they're the ones doing the work. If you're doing the work, then frankly, I don't know that you have a business that's sustainable. So they are the ones that you have to celebrate. And that goes to as each individual person, what makes them excited, what makes them tick, and celebrate that. Do something that's going to impact them, that's going to make them excited and feel like, man, we won today. And that's where I really start with is the team, is celebrate them, recognize them, put them up on a pedestal, and encourage them so that they come back tomorrow and want to do it again. So that's where it begins and ends for me.
Yeah, very good. Well said once again. Well, Patrick, it's been a pleasure having you on. Let me ask you, how can people find you?
They can, first of all, I'm a big social media person on LinkedIn. They can find me on LinkedIn. Secondly, they can, I'm somebody that loves to text back and forth and send screenshots of my life and where I'm at. They can reach out to me directly, 612-267-8277. You can always drop me an email. It's patrickm@32market.com.
Outstanding. This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Side Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for the Gray Owl Company. Patrick, well done. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Earl. Thanks for having me today.